Those who have not submitted their assignments, do submit it in this week itself. I hope I'm clear to you all. Kunal, I'm not talking about the persons, those who have submitted. I'm talking about the persons, those who have not submitted yet in the Google Classroom. Ayub, Bipin, then Kevin, Om Prakash, Rajesh Kumar, Sanatan. So these are the names of students who have not submitted yet. So do submit it on time. So in the last lab, I have given you the program as a practice program. That was the program 20 to find out the sum of first and last digit of a given number. Those who have done it, share their code in the chat box, or else you need time right now to perform it. Other than Kunal, anyone has performed that program? Other than Kunal, if anyone has performed this program, then please show me the code in the chat box. Those whose mic is on, just please mute it out. Rahul, please mute yourself. Okay. So shall I move to the, so I'm sharing the code, which you all just check it out whether your code is correct or not. Is my screen visible to all students? Students, is my screen visible to all? Okay. So I have shared the code over here. Just check it out whether your code is correct or not. In the last step, I had already explained the logic that you need to find out the first digit by dividing the whole number with 10 and last digit by finding the modulo by dividing the number with 10. If you have any doubt, let me know in the chat box. Executing the code. I'm assuming that everyone has performed this practical. So here the entered number is 1256. So the first digit is 1 and the last digit is 6. So the sum of this and the output of this practical should come as 7. Yes. So the first number I got is 1 and the last digit is 6. So I hope I'm clear to you. Anyone other than Kunal has performed this practical? Moving ahead to the next practical. Next practical says that you need to program to find out the sum and average of different number which are accepted by user as many as user wants. So what the program definition says is that you need to take as many as number as user want as an input. So what will be our input variables? There will be two input variables for us. Input variables. First will be how many numbers user want to enter. So that I'm taking it as n, and the other will be the numbers. So I will be taking as I'll be taking two variables. First is n for how many numbers user want to enter, and the other variable number to store each and every number that user enters. So what we need to do is we need to find the sum and average of the numbers entered by the user. Anybody is having any idea how we can do that? What you need to do is whatever the number coming to it, you need to store it in some variable. So there will be three variables for us: n, number, sum, and average, to store the average of the numbers entered. So for finding the sum, what we need to do is sum plus number. And to find the average, what we need to do is average is equals to sum divided by the total numbers entered by the user. So that is n. This is the basic maths I'm talking about. So this is the logic you need to implement. I'm giving you all 5 minutes implement it, and then I will be showing, I'll be performing it. But first I need you all to perform it. Anybody is having any doubt in the logic? Okay, then you are having 5 minutes. Perform this practical and then let me know once you are done with it. Logic of what you need to do is already given in this on the screen. Try to implement it, and once you are done, just let me know. You need to take the loop for taking input from the user, as we are having multiple numbers to get from the get as an input from user. Anyone? Anyone completed performing the experiment? Kunal, Rishi, Roshan, any one of you who has tried to implement this? Okay, now be here. What we are doing is we are first getting from the user that how many he wants to numbers he wants to calculate the average and sum. So scanf to get from the user. Taking the for loop as we'll be having multiple numbers to from the user. How many times loop will iterate? Loop will iterate n times. And n variable will store the total number of elements that are to be get from the user. If you have any doubt, just let me know. I will be storing the entered numbers into the num variable. So for that, we are using ampersand to store the user input into the variable. Now what I'm performing is I'm performing the summation of each and every number entered by the user. So for that I'm using sum to store the sum into it. And to find the average, I'm storing it in the average variable. Average is sum divided by number of numbers we have, total number of elements. At the end, I'm printing the output using the printf statement. What is your question? I have not taken the loop, sorry, I have not taken the array, Kunal. So the number in the square brackets that is called an array. I had not taken the array right now. That will be taking array you will be learning in the further lab sessions, that how you can implement the array. If you have any doubts till now, okay. So I'm entering 5 elements. I hope anyone is not having any doubt into logic. Here in this, the printf statement is given percentage 0.2f. So that will be the float variable will take the 6 values after point. So what we have done is over here 0.2. So what is that? That will be, it will display 2 values after the point, as we have declared average and sum as the float variables. So the average, so the sum of five numbers is 15 and the average is 3. Anybody is having any doubt? Okay. So moving on to next. The next practical is write a program to calculate the average and total of 5 students for 3 subjects and use the nested loops. So what they have said is, they have said to use the nested loops. And what you need to do is you need to get the marks of 5 students and for each student you need to get marks for 3 subjects and you need to find the average of 3 subjects. So, any doubt in the problem definition? Any doubt? Okay. So what you have to do is you have to take the loop for getting the marks of 5 students, and the other loop for the marks of each subject, and then you need to calculate the average of three subjects. So this program is you need to perform as a practice work and your homework. And in the next lab, I'm going to check it out.
Speak your full name. If you hear me, your voice is not. I'm asking just for the recording purpose.
Are you clear about my instructions? That this program is to be performed by you as your practice work
Speak your name again.
by the next lab. And I want everyone's answer.
I did message on WhatsApp.
So the same thing we need to do in the next program, that is we have to read the 5 persons height and weight, and then we have to check that whether the entered height and weight is greater than 170
My name.
and the weight is less than 50.
Okay. You hear me? Yes.
So that I'm going to do through the nested loop.
Okay. Okay. Arpan, can you tell me what is operating system?
So please be attentive so that you can get the idea of how to use the nested loops. What we need to find out in the experiment number 23 is that we have to take the
The question is
input.
already on the chat. What is OS? Check your chat.
We need to take height
Okay, I will.
and weight of the 5 persons, and then check whether
Azam, don't give answer here. You just speak. Your voice is clear. Don't write.
height is
Training system OS is system
greater than 170 and the weight
software
is less than
Mommy, you can hear me? Azam, I can hear you. You can speak.
so this is the program definition for the next program.
I don't get this. Okay, fine. Azam, there is one more question coming in the chat. Okay. Okay, mom.
Is the program definition clear to all? So anyone can answer me, how many variables do we need in it?
Check your chat.
Can anyone answer me, how many variables do we need to perform this experiment?
Azam, check your chat. What is process? The question is already there.
How 4 variables? Which 4 variables will be needed? Which 4 variables will be needed?
Azam, are you able to hear me? Azam,
Which four variables do we need? Height, weight, and G for Kunal. If you are answering my questions, then answer to everyone so that everyone can see what we are talking about.
sure, sir. You will take the last.
I think we need this. I got it.
Yes, yes, thank you. Sir, external, no, not 6, 4.
Of course, I have to
And
have
sir, external
So-
examination.
How many variables?
एक शीट पे शायद एक्सटर्नल की जरूरत नहीं है दो मिनट आपको फोर्थ क्वेश्चन
6 will be coming, sir. 6 AI is coming.
Height, weight, then I as our loop variable.
The last cabin in the ground. Yes, sir, the mic is here.
the problem from me
Okay, no problem. Again, I'm pasting the question. What is process?
what is
Process.
And the count variable, which I'm going to use
it's
for checking how many persons is having
the way
the height greater than 170 and weight less than
process
Less than 50.
everywhere and in every aspect of our regional
and we even need, as per the questions, yes,
Can you name
we even need
3 services of all?
the name of the 5 persons, so that I am declaring
Any 3 services of all?
it as character
you want
name.
mommy what
Check your chat.
So I'll be taking for loop for taking the height and weight of 5 persons. So starting my loop with the 1,
Azam,
so I equal to 1, that is the initialization of loop. Then I less than equal to 5, the 5 times the loop will be iterated, and I plus plus. Anybody have any doubt during this session? Please let me know in the chat box.
Azam, hello. Hello, Azam.
Person's name, I'm going to store it into the name variable, and as it is the character, so percentage C.
mom you can hear me
Yes, yes, perfect.
can hear me
Yes,
So what next will be needed as an input from the user? That is
yes, 3 services of all.
its height,
communication
And
propagation and error is
so percentage D, and I'm storing it into a
message
height variable.
message
okay, okay.
file system many views
All right, fine. And Azam, one more thing. CSV component.
So we have taken the height and weight as
Yes,
an input from the user. Now, what are we going to check is we're going to check if the height is greater than 170
Azam, you check your chat.
Mom, I can't check Google Classroom. I sent my problem because my
Okay, understood.
And
Listen, understood.
the weight is less than 50. So I'm taking if
Yes, you may.
condition, that is
okay.
whether height
I'm giving you my email address.
is
You
equal
can't say
height is less than or equal to 170, and why I'm using here and because we need to check both the conditions. So as you have learned that
yes, mom, yes.
if
Okay,
any one
send me
condition
your
will be
assignment
wrong,
here.
then the
Okay,
whole
what-
condition will
what
be
I
false.
will send for you.
No, dear.
Okay.
No. Wait.
And
By
weight
tomorrow morning.
is greater than equals to 50.
Tomorrow,
Morning.
If the
Okay.
conditions get true, what I will do
By
is
tomorrow morning,
the our count variable
is
10 o'clock. Indian time.
will be plus plus.
what's the time, mom?
Morning 10 a.m. IST.
And what we'll do is we'll be printing count variable as we need to check that how many persons from
Yes, you
this
can.
is having
I sent to you.
Okay, fine. Azam, you can go. Your Wi-Fi is done.
Okay, mom. Good boy.
height greater than 170 and weight less than equals to 50. So now I'm printing the output. Comma count, as count will store that how many persons will be having the height greater than 170 and weight less than or equal to or weight less than 50. So anybody is having any doubt till now what I have done? Anyone? Am I clear to all? Okay, so person's name I'm giving as A, is height I'm giving as 185 and weight I'm giving as 45. So the person whose height that I've got 1 person, now I enter again. Entering the person name that I've entered as N, and height I'm entering as 165 and weight as 55. So now again height as 160 and weight as 45. Height 169, weight 56. 172 and weight as 46. So there are 2 persons whose height is greater than 170 and weight is less than 50. Any doubts till now?